Hi, my name is David. I'm going to be making an onion twist bread, and I'm going to show you the details of how to finesse it so your friends will say, ooh, this is fabulous. What I've done is I've already rolled out a dough recipe, which I will have posted on the website. We'll talk about later. I've rolled it out to about 12 by 18 inches. You need a certain amount of area here to cover with the filling. What I've done is I've pre-marked it for strips 4 inches wide, and I'm using a pizza cutter, and you can use a round wheel if you want, and I'm going to cut it into 3 strips just like so. We're going to rock that back and forth. Then I'm going to come down here and hit my last mark right there. Is the mark. Now I have made the dough ahead of time in the bread machine because it's easier, it's quicker to let that do the work for you. So I've got my strips here of dough. We have a filling. The filling is made of a cup of chopped onions. It is a tablespoon of sesame seed or poppy seed. It is a teaspoon of garlic salt. It is 2 tablespoons of softened butter. And it is a teaspoon of paprika. Now I tend to go a little bit heavier on the paprika because it's there more for color. You're going to divide this, it's a little over a cup, into thirds, and you're going to spread this on each of the strips of bread. Now a little trick here. Drop it in smaller parcels, like so, and keep it toward the back side because you're going to roll away from you. There's never any of this bread left. And this is my 5th loaf since Thanksgiving. Now, I use an offset knife. You can also use a stolen spoon from Outback. I'm going to spread the dough. Keep the far strip free of filling. It'll make it easier to seal. And you want to chop the onions pretty fine. Now the filling recipe is a cup of onion. I chop it really fine because if you use larger chunks, the corners will tear the bread while you're rolling it. So really fine chopping, and I use a slap chopper. I keep my onions already chopped in the freezer. So I just grab what I need and let it fall. And also you want to be mindful when you're doing the rolling, try not to get the filling on your fingers. So I keep a paper towel handy because the paprika will stain the outside of the bread. So if you actually get a little on your fingers, make sure you have something set close by so you can clear that off with. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you want to get it spread nice and then go back and clean up your edge here so you don't have. Now I'm going to start rolling this. That's a little trick here. I kind of go through once and I just loosen it up and kind of dance across the surface, and I come right back and I start folding it over. And just dance it back through, and then I'm going to try to pick it up and carry it over. I'm going to pull the dough back as I go. And get that seam down onto the bottom side. Now see, I've touched the filling, so I'm going to wipe my hands off so I don't stain it. Now while that's sitting there for a bit, make sure your seam's kind of down toward the bottom. We'll just go on and move over to the next one while the filling is cold. So we're going to kind of dance through, come back again, and start pinching and rolling, pinching and rolling. Pull it back and roll it on over. Pull it back, roll it on over, pull it back, roll it on over. Get that seam down to the bottom. Didn't get as much on my hands that time. I'll try it one more time. I'm going to clean this edge a little bit better there. I'm going to do my dancing across. Come back. Now, I do a little bit of stretching ever so slight, just to kind of even out the filling and making sure my seams are toward the bottom. So I'm going to get it a little even, and it helps seal it a little bit more and evenly distribute the filling. And it gets them about, and you can do a little squeezing. And now I'm going to come in and I'm going to just start pinching the ends shut, and I'm going to roll it up underneath itself. So I'm going to come in here, I'm going to pinch and just roll it up underneath itself. Pinch and roll that up underneath itself. We're going to do the same thing down at the other end. You want to make sure it's sealed really well, because you don't want the onion juice to run out while it's baking. Now, wiping my hands, I'm going to roll it back toward me, wipe my hands, and I'm going to do a little pinch to seal that shut. The little bit of juice from the onion that leaks through there is enough to wet it so it will stick. Here, I've touched that there, so I want to get that filling in there. Sometimes you can just pull it on over. And we're going to roll this back down on its face side. Come back here. Let's pinch this one shut. Just a little bit more. And the last one, roll that back down. Pinch, pinch, pinch. And roll that. Now we've got our three parts. I'm going to spread just a little bit more of this flour out here, just to keep the surface loose. Give them a little bit of roll in that flour. It makes it easier to braid them. I line my three pieces up like this, and the object is to work as quickly as you can. So you're going to pick the piece up and start your braiding, keeping the seam down. Then you're going to tuck your ends like so, and you'll come up here. You'll roll this end under, and you're going to roll this end over the top. And there you have your braided bread. You're going to transfer it to a baking sheet. And voila, you have a very nice onion twist bread. 325 degrees on a dark pan for 35 to 40 minutes till golden brown on the top. Let it sit. Fabulous.